Hi, Crossroads Community Church. Great to be with you here today in our space where we're getting ready for Christmas. We're getting ready to bless our community and those who come as we share what people have given to us and we share with others. It's a great time to be part of the Salvation Army at Christmas time. Today we're in the third Sunday of Advent, and if you've watched our Advent reading, you'll have heard Cadet Matthew already read the passage from Luke chapter 1 that talks about Mary's song, but often is called the Magnificat, and it starts with the amazing words, "Oh, how my soul praises the Lord." Today, I hope you're praising the Lord. I hope you are just feeling and knowing the presence of God and that he is worthy to be praised. We sang, "Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord." Well, throughout this season of Advent, we're in the middle of a series and we're looking at how Creator and creation works together and how it tells us the story of what's found in the scriptures, and that we can look around in our world and we can see what Creator set in place since the beginning of time, since the very foundation of our world, that comes into what we call Christmas and what we're really celebrating. So we're going to just recap quickly what we've gone on. If you want to go back and watch those, they're online. And so we just ask, that you can understand. I say it over and over because they build on each other. And so that we want to understand this foundation, sort of like when you build an igloo, it's a spiral house, and they're not blocks that are separate from each other, but they all work together. So we begin first off with Creator, this cornerstone. The Word is there. It's at the center of all things. Jesus Christ is our cornerstone, the main foundation. And then because of that, we can be still, because God is here and he's here present and he wants to walk with us today. And then we moved into day and night. Then we moved into weeks and Sabbath. We moved into seasons and we looked at trees. Then we looked at years. And so you have this movement of the simplest to more complex to the long term of how our world works. And so we began our first Sunday of Advent in the Sabbath and Jubilee. And last Sunday, we looked at the light that came into the darkness. And we were back at day and night. This week, we are back in weeks and Sabbath. And what we talked about was the gifts that we give each other, that was set up in creation, that our world was meant to work together. We were meant to be in right relationship with each other, but also our world and all things in it. And we just aren't. And so into a broken world, Creator, the Word, steps in to his creation to show us the way. He came to show us how to be reconciled in right relationship with each other and our world. That's what this is about. That's what we are celebrating. That in a broken world, Creator once again comes and steps into us and in through us and speaks to our broken world. That is who we are called to be. And Mary understood this concept of right relationship when she, in this song, imagine this, a teenage pregnant woman in a time when that was not a great thing to be, and her husband could have set her aside. Matthew's gospel records he thinks about it and he's not sure what to do, and then the angel comes and speaks to him. But Mary, instead of being fearful for herself, actually challenges the economic the economics of her time. She talks about the rich and the poor and the brokenness of her world, and that God was going to come in and show his mercy and his grace and his unfailing love. And somehow she was going to play a part in that. And then that's what she's saying, my soul praises the Lord. Wow. Like if we could be like Mary, whose name means bitter tears. Mary, who would know hardship in her life. Praising God was not just this easy thing that you get to do and it's all fun and games and no problems. No, Mary's life was going to be a difficult life. Her name declared that. But through that, she said, my soul praises the Lord. And the one who was to come, the Word who would come and be made flesh, as John would record, says the Word would become human and make his home among us. Here in our neighborhood, the Word wants to make his name at home with us. And he was full of unfailing love and faithfulness. This is who Mary, this life she is carrying within her body, was to come and set our world straight, to bring and reconcile relationships. Ephesians, that we talked about with the cornerstone right before that, it talks about that Christ would be the one who came to reconcile the world, to break down walls, to bring people together in right relationship, to bring our world back in rhythm. As we think about what does that mean? What does that look like? I'm standing here in a room full of toys and gifts that we are privileged to share with our community because people have given that to us to share in our community. We don't just create this. We don't just go out and have this unending supply of toys or food or anything else. That is gifted to us to gift to others. And that is part of what Creator wanted us to do. The principle of sharing, of the gift giving and the exchange, so that there is not just the rich and the poor, but that we would be coming together, and that as we share with each other, that our world would see unfailing love and faithfulness. And when those are broken apart, then we see a world out of balance. God is calling us, Crossroads, to be part of his restoration, his reconciling with each other. And so even all of the goodwill that we will send out from this room this week is part of that. But we can't just have it for 1 week of a year. God is calling us to actually do this 365 days a year. He is calling us to share. He is calling us to be in right relationship with our neighbor, to love our neighbor as ourself. If we want to understand what does it mean to love God, we have to love others, love ourselves enough to give gifts to each other. We can't hoard. We can't care only about me. We can't do that and follow what Creator wants. We will get out of balance. As we walk this journey, we do it not proudly saying, look at us, aren't we great? We just go out there and help the world. That's not what we're doing. But humbly we walk in our world and share that which has been shared with us so that the world would know that they are loved. They are loved unfailingly. And that God is faithful. And he will not forget his people. We're going to upload the song called Humble King. And the chorus says, he's the God of the broken, the friend of the weak. Listen to that. And may your heart be challenged to serve that God. And then find out, what is he asking you to do? And I'll ask, what is he asking me to do? When we reach out in our world, as Creator has reached us, our world changes. Now you might say, I can't take on everything in the world. I can't take on the economic scale and all these things that are big and all these other things. I can't change all the politics. I can't change all of those big things. Go back to Mary, this one young woman who is willing to speak her piece, the Magnificat, Mary's song, and say, my soul praises the Lord. But God is called her to do something specific. He's calling you to something specific this week. Maybe it's a person next door. Maybe it's somebody in your family. I don't know. But I invite you to seek God and ask Him who it is that you need to reach out to today and see reconciliation. See those dividing walls come down so that the name of Jesus Christ can be praised. This Christmas time, in the midst of a pandemic, nothing can stop the love of God moving out in our neighborhoods. We don't have to walk. We can wear our masks. We can do all of those things. But God's love breaks down all walls. As you love your community this week, may we give honor and glory to our humble King who showed us the way. God bless you all.